real quick. Okay. All right. So we're recording. So just as a recap, number one, you've got to get the mind aligned. What you believe about money, wealth, and success will form the limitations of what you achieve in those areas. Number two, you got to find your gurus. You got to find your mentors. Okay. So you believe fiercely that you have what it takes to break into that 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure income stream. You believe it. You want it. You're seeking it. Good. Seeking is powerful, but you've heard it before. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You know, you got to surround yourself with like-minded people who reinforce your beliefs and support your goals. And you have to remove people. You know what? I was thinking about this yesterday. In the last few years, we have purposely cut out of our lives people that pretended to be our friends. We have cut out of the people out of our lives that pretend to support us or be our friends, or they really are, you know, they're in front of you, then, oh, yeah, but then behind you, they're chattering, or even friends and family that don't share the same beliefs, goals, dreams, and beliefs and wishes as we do. We've distanced ourselves completely. We've raised the bar on who we allow into our inner circle. So you got to spend more time meeting with or studying those who they have more knowledge and they have more experience than you. Don't allow yourself to be frozen by fear or intimidated by those who have achieved that great success. Anybody is accessible. Anybody is accessible. You got to find them. You got to interact with them. You've got to learn from them. You've got to earn their time. Yes, I said earn their time. You can't just expect to pick up the phone and tell somebody, hey, you know, Richie, hey, Jeremy, I'm going to be your next superstar, and then expect that they're going to give you their time. You've got to go show them. You got to go show them that you're serious. The third thing is I want you to be really, really, really clear about what it is that you want, both in the short term by the end of this month and where you want to go. We've talked about becoming a 6-figure or a millionaire or even a multimillionaire a few times. It's a great general idea, but it isn't powerful enough of a goal to ignite that action and feed that passion. You need to set very specific goals. Maybe you start with an annual income goal. Maybe you start with, you know, targeting a certain number of prospects every day, every week, every month. I say this all the time. Do you realize if you just reached out to 5 people per day, 5 people per day, 5 days a week, take the weekends off, do that for 90 days, you would be in the top 5% of the recruiters in this company. You would. You would. Commitment is not rocket science. It's consistency. Commitment is not rocket science. It's just consistency. The more specific your goals, the more they're going to motivate and they're going to sustain you. And they have the ability, because when you set a goal, like if I know that I want to get to Business Builder, what happens is it gives you the ability to measure progress. And measuring progress is key. I can look every day and say, where am I at? What do I need to do? I don't know about you guys, but I'm in my back office all the time. I'm in my back office looking at my numbers. I'm looking at where my teammates are, what they need to do to accomplish their goals. If your goals are vague, how do you know if you're achieving it? How do you know? Let's say your goal is to become a millionaire in your lifetime, and now you're 30 and you have $60,000 in the bank. Are you on track? Are you encouraged? Are you discouraged? Will you be happy if you reach $1 million in your bank account on your 90th birthday? Is that the goal? Now let's look at a specific goal. Let's just say that in 2018, your goal is to add 10 new business promoters over the next 30 to 60 days, not even 2018. Let's just say in the next 30 to 60 days. And let's say that, 2 weeks in, you're only at 2. You can look and say, where am I at? Like, am I on track, or what do I need to do? I need to increase my numbers a little bit. And for those of you that lack the skill, maybe you're new, you just need to make it up in numbers. That's the best advice a mentor ever gave me. I was young when I started. I was 30 years old when I started in network marketing. Not even that. I got less than 30 years old. Who was going to listen to me about going and building wealth, right? And I told my mentor that. I says, I don't know that much about this business. I don't know how to do it. I don't have a track record of success here. What am I supposed to do? And he says, you just need what you lack in skills, you need to make up in numbers. And as you make it up in numbers, you'll develop the skills. Number 4 is you need to go tell everyone what we are doing here. Everyone. Now, I'm not talking about strutting around town bragging, or how if you're doing well, you have gobs of money. I'm talking about just freely sharing your excitement and your enthusiasm. We are in the business of contagious enthusiasm. You need to go out and notify people of what you're up to. You need to tell them. You need to let them know. You need to notify them. You need to invite them to take a look with some urgency. Richie, you got to take a look at what I'm doing. You've got to see what I'm doing right now. Because the last thing I want is for you to come back a year from now and say, why in the world did you not tell me about this? Richie, listen, I have found a way to go build a multi-six-figure and potentially even seven-figure income-producing asset in the next 3 to 5 years, and I've got to share it with you. Urgency. You got to do that. And then finally, live the life. If you want to be a successful network marketer, you want to earn 6 figures, you want to be 7 figures, then you need to live like a millionaire. You need to live like a 6-figure earner. And I'm not saying you need to go buy a car or go do things that you can't afford or live beyond your means. That's not what I'm talking about at all. But when I'm talking, there's plenty of self-made millionaires that have gotten there conservatively. But what I do mean is you need to monitor your way of thinking. Do you look at a Bentley and automatically think, gosh, I'll never afford that. I'll never be able to afford that. How serious can you be about becoming a millionaire if that's your first knee-jerk reaction? Now, it doesn't have to be a Bentley. I'm just using that as an example. A person planning their success will instead, they'll think in approximately 5 years, when my annual income reaches $5 million, I'm going to be able to pay cash for that. I'm going to be able to pay off my house. You guys hear me talk about it all the time. I'm building a $5 million income-producing asset. I can't wait to owe nobody anything, to be able to pay off my mother-in-law's house. I can't wait to do that. It's going to happen. It's going to happen in the next 3 to 5 years. I'm going to be able to, just going to write a check, and I'm going to call her up one day. I'm going to say, listen, it's time for you to just be a grandma and get off of the road. You don't have to do that anymore. Like that to me, I can't wait to do that. I want to know what are some of the things that you guys want to do. I can't wait. What's your life plan? If you're a parent, are you optimistic about sending your kids to any college that they want to go? Are you learning about different places in the world that you want to visit? Are you looking at them? Are you researching them? Are you planning in 3 years? Listen, how many times have you heard the story of the guy that said, listen, I'm going to go to Italy and I'm just going to put it on my calendar and I'm going to make it happen? What happens the moment that they put it on the calendar? It becomes real. There's a target, and you know what? They start making it happen. It doesn't matter if they put money in a jar. It's scheduled. It's scheduled. You know what I have scheduled? I have scheduled my retirement. My retirement in the next 5 years, I'm done. I'll be drinking out of a coconut on a beach somewhere. If you guys find me, I'll be that guy out there in a Speedo with a coconut. Well, I may not be in a Speedo, but I'll be drinking out of a coconut, and that's where you're going to find me. So is there something that you can do now that that'll give you a taste of your future? I don't know, maybe buy an expensive pair of sunglasses to remind you to look at the world through the eyes of a millionaire. Maybe start a basic mining contract, right? Just even a $500 one. Just, hey, listen, $5 million or bust. This is my first step. Jack Canfield, one of the creators of the Chicken Soup series, of books that shared stories about, he shared a book about setting goals. One year he decided that he was going to sell a mini version of his book for 25 cents, and he wanted to reach $100,000 in sales that year. And at that time, that was a huge amount of money for his family. Well, he didn't make it. He only made it to $92,000. Do you think he was disappointed? Of course he wasn't. By setting such a huge goal, he created a situation in which an almost made it was still a raving success. So if today, you make $80,000 a year and you decide to make $10 million in 10 years, you'll still be living a vastly different life if you only make $8 million, right? So consider this. If in 5 years, 10 years, in whatever amount of years, you have 1, 2, 15, $30 million, are you still you? You may have different characteristics brought on by time and wealth, but you're still the same person, right? So if you're going to be a millionaire in the future, then what's stopping you from having that millionaire mindset right now, you guys? Don't wait for things to define you. You got to be defined by the passion. You got to be defined by the skill and determination that will ultimately get you the life that you want. So my challenge to you guys today is to elevate your thinking. You guys, some of you probably heard me tell the fisherman story. 2 fishermen standing on a bank. One fisherman casts out. He reels in this tiny little fish, puts it in the cooler. Then he casts out again, catches this giant fish, releases it into the water. He does it again, reels in this little fish, puts it in the cooler. Big fish, releases it in the water. There's another fisherman that's watching him, and he's perplexed. He's like, why the heck is he throwing the big ones back in the water, and he's keeping the little ones in his cooler? It's driving him crazy, so he goes over and he says, listen, I got to know, why are you keeping these little fish and you're throwing the big ones away? He says, well, listen, I've only got a 6-inch frying pan at home. The bigger fish won't fit into my pan. Here's the story, moral story, guys. You got to get a bigger frying pan. You got to raise your mindset. You've got to raise your expectation of what you think is possible. Now, listen, this is my disclaimer. I know that hitting, I don't know even what's legend or I don't even know our higher ranks. I don't even know what I just hit, presidential something. Listen, I know that's not everybody's goal. But what I'm going to share with you here over the next 5 minutes as we wrap up this call is just some mindset and strategy, some things that you need to understand if you're going to be successful in this business. So here's the deal. First of all, number one, we're in network marketing. Okay? I don't know if you guys didn't know that. We're in network marketing. Some of you are like secret agents in network marketing. You're like, you're in disguise. You don't want anybody to know you're in network marketing. That's the business that we're in, okay? Network marketing. And here's the thing. I want you to write those words down if you're taking notes. Just network marketing. And I want you to write work in capitalized. Work. You see, when you see this word, you see the work side, the net, you focus on the net and the marketing, right? You've all heard of FedEx. Conveyor belts at the main plant went down one time, and the owner, he had to hire this technician, and the technician comes in and he says, listen, this is costing me millions of dollars per hour. I have got to get this belt fixed as quickly as possible. And the technician goes to the back of the room and he turns one screw and it starts working again. And he comes out and the owner says, how much do I owe you? He hands him an invoice and on it was written $1 for turning the screw, $9,999 for knowing which screw to turn. The purpose of the story, guys, is there's nothing wrong with you. You just have to know what to adjust. It's the work. It's the work. It's the work. It's the work. The first thing about the how to is you have to be willing to do the work. And my hope is I'm here to teach you how to work. And the best way to teach is just to go out and set the example. The work is simple, but it's still work. And the things that are easy to do are also the things that are what? Easy not to do. So the first thing you have to do is come to grips with the first thing you have to come to grips with is whether you're going to be a part-time player or you're going to be a full-time player. But you can't be a sometime player. Okay? The first thing that you have to come to grips with is you're going to be a part-time player or a full-time player, but you can't be a sometime player. Now, mentality. You got to have a do whatever it takes mentality. As long as it takes. As long as it takes me to get there, I'm going to get there. The moment that you get serious, you will have one of three challenges that come your way. The moment that you tell the universe, I am going to Business Builder, I am going to Premiere, I am going to 4K, I am about to change. When you say that, the universe will challenge you to see if you really mean what you say. You might experience a relationship issue. You might have car problems. You might even have a health issue. There has to be opposition. There has to be opposition. Why? Because going to the top isn't easy. And if it were, everybody would be there. Everybody would be there. I want you guys to go sponsor 12 people as fast as you possibly can. 4 just to get to guaranteed generator, but 12 as quickly as you can. Because here's the reason why. 1 in 4 will actually do the work. You're constantly filling a leaking bucket in network marketing. So you gotta constantly keep sponsoring. This is very important. This got me fired up. I had to identify the difference, the reward for difference. What's the difference between Burger King and McDonald's? Which one do you like? Which one's better? Anybody like, which one do you like? Burger King or McDonald's? Which one's better? Just out of curiosity. I'm curious what everybody says. It doesn't really matter. I'm just curious what everyone thinks. You got to understand the difference, the reward for difference. Okay? Well, I got to look and see what everybody's saying here. McDonald's, let's see what, Burger King, McDonald's, Burger King. Okay, so, all right, just curious. That has nothing to do with my training. That's like ADD kicking in for me real quickly here. But you got to understand the reward for difference, okay? You know, the difference between rich and poor. What's the difference, right? Same comp plan, same product. What's the difference? The difference, you know, I married myself to the process that I had to just go do 5 to 10 presentations every single day. That's the difference. People are like dust, you guys. They're everywhere. Don't let your mind say, how am I going to find the people? The people are everywhere. They're at your church. They're on your Facebook. They're at the gym. They live in your neighborhood. Don't let your mind say, I don't know that many people. Your mind is keeping you from your blessings. Notice tonight that I spent a lot of time on mind, more than the how. Because when your mind is right, you don't have to be a great speaker, you guys. You don't have to be able to ask, you know, or you don't have to be able to present, excuse me. All you have to be able to do is ask someone, are you currently investing in crypto? Have you heard of crypto mining? That's it. Oh, you haven't? Well, listen, let me tell you what I'm super excited about right now that I'm working on. Would you like to take a look? That's it. That's the key to success, but you got to be willing to have those conversations. And you got to be you can't just be a sometimes player. So that's where we're going to wrap up tonight. Any final thoughts or anything that anybody want to share that stood out to them tonight, or any comments, or any of the leaders want to have anything that they'd like to add? Feel free to hop in. I'm turning the last couple of minutes over to you guys. Tiffany says, I can't wait for the recording. Tiffany, you're going to laugh, but I forgot the first 3 minutes, and then I totally remembered to hit record. All right, anybody have any final thoughts? Mr. Hood, anything that you want to share?
Nope, you were speaking to me tonight. I'm the student.
Who else? Miss Jo Bell, anything you want to add? Sean O'Neill, anybody want to jump in?
No, I would just say that, you know, the hope floats, action flies. I think it's all about taking massive action, you know, and doing the follow-up, having an active list of people that you're following up with, you know, and just using the process we have, you know.
Mr. McCormick, the McCormicks in the house, Brandon, Tiffany, anything you guys want to add tonight?
No, I jumped out.
I was just saying, Travis,
Go ahead, Joe. Joe, then
Go ahead, Tiffany. Yeah, I missed everybody. I've been traveling for 11 days and with other business. And so what I did is I challenged myself to get out of my own comfort zone and have real conversations, real contacts, real follow-up. So I'm sad that I missed a chunk of March, but I really extended myself to try and say, you know what, if I can extend my skills and extend my comfort zone and then manage the follow-up, right? Really put them through the system and build those relationships. I'm excited for my April, for May, for June. So I missed y'all. Thank you for welcoming me back.
welcome
Tiffany.
back.
I don't have much to add. You guys are all amazing. I'm sad that I missed the call. I was on another call, so I can't wait to catch the replay. Travis, I knew you were going to forget to hit record. I should have sent you a text reminder. You always forget. But no, I'm just really excited about the accomplishments that people are already making. I already know like where everyone is going with this, and I'm just really like honored to be learning from you, Travis. So I can't wait to catch the replay, and thanks so much.
Thank you. We got about 95% of it, didn't we, guys? We got about 95% recorded. How's my Australia girls? Miss Rosanna, talk to me.
Great, I'm great, thank you. I just love when you speak, Travis. You're such an inspiration, and I just hope some more of my team are on here. If not, we'll catch the replay, and we're so excited for tonight and the presentation you're going to do for us tonight. So we're crazily ringing and getting some more people on, and like you said, it's about being pumped and excited and about making sure that everybody knows about this. And it's amazing how many people don't really understand about mining. So that's an excellent conversation to have. So we're just continuing on with great force. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I can't wait to see you guys a little later tonight. I'm gonna have to drink. We're gonna have to drink some coffee tonight, Tiffany. 1 a.m. What about the Wisleys, Mr. Wisely? I see Rick Wisely here tonight. My buddy, Rick, talk to me. You've been in the industry a while. I want to hear from you. What do you have to say? What stood out to you tonight? You able to unmute, or are you in a place where you can unmute? I just unmuted you. Are you there? Oh, he must not be on right now. That's okay. All right. Anybody else have any final thoughts that they want to share before we wrap up? Ian, you on here? All right.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm going to mute this. I'm just here. One of my kids watching the show. Well, I guess one of the biggest things that I learned from our previous experience and taken forward is you really can't do this alone. You really got to focus on having your team build with you and really training your people that you're bringing in who want to build how to build properly.
Awesome. Well, let's make it happen. I think that I agree with that. I think that if we all lock arms and do everything that we can to get everybody across the finish line, nobody gets left behind. For you leaders, get into your back office, make a list tomorrow, everybody that you personally enrolled, and I'd reach out to them and say, listen, what can we do to get you to guaranteed generator by the end of the month? And, that starts with you, right? Leadership starts with you. There's no better, more powerful way to be able to build a business than to say, if I could do it, you can do it too. So let's get it done. And with that, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. And if there's anything I can do over the course of the next, I don't even know how many days are in this month, 3 days or so to be able to get you there, let me know. I'm here to help. And tomorrow night, Miss Tiffany McCormick is up, so load it up. All you lady bosses, get the lady bosses in front of her. We've got not enough people, not enough women are in crypto, so we need to get the women on these presentations as well. So load it up for tomorrow night. Tiffany did a great job last week, and then we've got Richie on Thursday night. We'll see you guys a little bit later. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye-bye now.